We respectfully request the Sangha great virtues for the sake of this assembly and all living beings. Please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung thính đại đức tặng thịnh, vi thứ pháp hội cập nhật thiết chúng sanh, tịnh chuyên diệu pháp luân giao đạo ngã môn, như há liêu sanh thoát tư ly khổ đắc lạc, tất chứng vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Nam mô Sananto Suchedoye Elahudi San Miao San Puto Jie. Nam mô Tạng Đắc Tha Doya Daya Alahade Tam Miao Tam Mô Đà Toa. The unsurpassed, profound, thorough, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I'm able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual doctrines. Wu shang sheng sheng wei miao fa bai jian wan jie nan zao yu. 我今见闻得受持，愿解如来真实义。O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Sweet Master Jing Liang, Great Master YongHua, all good monks and nuns, and all good knowing advisors, Emitofuo. 诸佛菩萨、精良大士、师父上人、各位出家人、各位上智sư, Emitofuo. Chư Phật Bồ Tát, kính thưa Thanh Lương Đại sư Hòa thượng Thiên Hóa, quý thầy cô và quý vị thiện tri thức, A Di Đà Phật. Hello everyone, today is the 28th of September 2025. We're here at DTT to continue discussing the first chapter of the Avatamsaka Sutra. It's a pleasure to be here with you. Myself, I love the Avatamsaka Sutra, because thanks to Great Master YongHua, he is the one who introduced our era to the Avatamsaka Sutra. His predecessor, Xu Yun, Master Xu Yun, and the other ones, they would not touch his sutra. So this sutra requires a lot of, requires great wisdom, if you will, to be able to discuss it. And so I love it. I remember first listening to his lectures when I was a novice. This is about over 20 years ago. And I enjoyed it. Every lunch, every day after lunch, we'd play his tape and in Chinese, and a lady in Canada would translate it for me. I was the only one there, and I loved it. Every day was like hearing these wonderful things that somehow you like it. You know, if this is very addictive, the more you listen to it, the more it's wonderful. And for that, I'm very grateful. In fact, how come we don't have any images of Master YongHua here? There are two people in this, in my career that directly taught me. One is Master YongHua, and the other one is the sixth patriarch. And one day I tell you more about how what the sixth patriarch taught me. It's very important for me. It helped me do my work right now. And so going back to the Avatamsaka Sutra, sixth patriarch is Chan, and Master YongHua here. And this is a real pleasure because when you listen to the Avatamsaka Sutra, it's not about understanding. When you listen to it, especially when you're feeling down, or you're agitated, or you're restless, or you have something that's in your mind that you cannot shake off, take a break and just listen to it. And you see that something wonderful happens. And so the one thing I would tell you, besides that, is that this sutra here, when you listen to the sound, you read the words, it plants the seeds of great wisdom. What does it mean? It means that your mind, you are a lot more open-minded. You plant the seeds to be open-minded because the sutra is about the worlds that's beyond ours. It talks about the universe. Okay, even our galaxy is not something we can even imagine or conceive of. But the Avatamsaka Sutra is about infinite number of galaxies, if you will. So it's very, very fascinating. It tells you the world up there, like in this chapter here, tells you about celestial kings. They're rulers of the heavens above us. Okay, and we at the last a level of the heavens in our desire realm, the closest heaven, okay, to us, and that's where these it's called the four heavenly kings' heavens, and they are also called the guardians of the world. Meaning these four heavenly kings, they are in charge of the troublemakers. Meaning, the next section we learn about is dragons. Okay, dragons, if you tame them, you keep them in check, they're extremely useful. But if you don't, because they're very, very powerful, and we learn more about it very shortly, but if you don't keep them in check, they can cause a lot of grief and a lot of damages to you. Okay, so I want you to listen to an open mind. Don't try to understand. It's like watching a movie, hearing a tall tale. And most important is don't reject it, don't judge. Just say, oh, there's such a thing. These people talk about these things, and thank you. And that's will plant the seeds for you to have a broader mind. And as I like to think, I like to say it often, thinking big, thinking beyond yourself. Okay? All right, 227. This section is the section, again, the first desire heaven, so the closest heaven to us. It's about how many miles? Last week we talked about it. It's about 21,000 yojanas away from us. And so it's that far away. And so this heaven here, they are rulers of dragons, of ghosts, of garudas, and so forth. Okay, and kinaras, the musical spirits. They have a horn. Okay, kinaras, yeah, and they make heavenly music, much better in our realm, as an offering to the gods. All right, Master YongHua, this is also another thing about Master YongHua. He's so knowledgeable, and so we are taking advantage of his erudition here. For someone who really never even finished high school, He knows so much. All right. He went up to us, who went as far as 8th grade, and then he stopped. That's in China. All right. What are dragons? Dragons have a lot of temper. They have a huge temper. They can easily get angry. And they are very courageous and vigorous when it comes to cultivation. They're not afraid of suffering or difficulty. Okay, here's the nature of dragons. They are sad. They are hasty with the vehicle. They're slow with the precepts. Meaning, in the past, they were primarily monks and nuns, and they practice Mahayana. And Mahayana have a lot of Dharma doors where traditionally they encourage you to practice very vigorously, unlike us. We are easygoing. We are enjoying ourselves more than practicing vigorously. And so that's what it's meant by hasty of the vehicle, meaning that they believe in Mahayana and encounter these Mahayana Dharma doors, these different practices, meditation, Pure Land, mantras, repentances, and bowing, and all those things. And they practice very, very hard. And why? Because the harder you work, the harder you practice, the more enjoyable it is for you. There's an initial phase where you struggle and struggle and struggle, but that's part of the training. Once you get beyond that, it's something that becomes addictive. You don't want to do without. As the other day, I said, it's like you managed to have a turbocharge through meditation, through reciting the Buddha's name, and you develop that samadhi level you have, and with that turbocharge, once you have it, you definitely want to use it every day. Otherwise, you're just an ordinary person. All right. So they hasty vehicles, meaning they work very hard. As you work very hard in Mahayana, you will make progress. You will have real significant talents, real significant skills that you can use, which makes you above the ordinary people. But they're slow with the precept. Slow meaning they are not that serious about the precepts. They said, I enjoy meditation, but precepts are something that I don't feel is that important. Okay? Now, only because they don't understand meditation, only because the teachers did not really teach them chant properly. Okay? There's a huge difference. Okay, and so here is a prime example of something, a very powerful way of practice, but they did not learn the entire practice. They only learned, for example, about crossing legs, about reciting mantras and bowing and so forth. But they don't understand that to meditate, to recite the Buddha's name, there's a foundation for that. Okay? You cannot do it well, you cannot go very far with that unless you have goodness in your heart. So precepts are basically rules of goodness. Okay? People mistakenly think of it as something that's restrictive and not that important because it doesn't seem to matter anyway. Okay, but you don't realize that actually, just like everything else here in our world, the foundations are so important, and yet no one pays attention to it. You cannot build this temple here without a proper foundation. See, we have another location in Gulf Force, and our little temple there is sinking slowly. Okay, it's a good thing we have a good foundation there. Otherwise, it'd be sinking a lot faster. So the house is usually crooked. All the houses there, all the buildings there are crooked. All you have to do is go into the house, and this is a trick for realtors, right? You drop like a ball, okay, a marble or a ball or a lipstick. You have lipstick, okay? And then the lipstick, it will roll on the floor. So you see, foundations are very important. So now in Gulf Force, by the way, all our doors are crooked. They're all like this. Okay, at least in my building. Yeah. I'm not complaining. Don't try to fix it. I love crooked things. So. Okay, and so this is why, and this is a complete practice. It's not just meditation or speaking Dharma or reciting mantras and make pencils move. Without the foundation of goodness in your heart, you will get in big trouble eventually. Okay? You'll be tempted. Okay? You'll be tempted one day you become president and you say, ooh, I have a chance to make a lot of money and get away with it. Will I? If you create bad karma from stealing from others, you'll be very poor in the future. So in Buddhism, if you really understand, you won't steal. There's no point, because you pay with interest and much more than what you stole. Seriously. Okay, and so that's why the foundation is very important. So that's what happened to dragons. So these people, imagine these monks and nuns who've been practicing Mahayana, they have a Mahayana master, and they practice all these mantras, they practice chant, they can fly, they can see things, and they can poof. Put you on fire if they wish to, so they can do those things. However, because they're able to do those things, they abuse those things. You see, they abuse the power, if you will, and that's why. Because they're lax with the rules and regulations, the things that you do. The things that you cannot do, okay? That's very important. The rules in life. And so, because they're being lax with the precepts, not paying attention to the rules of morality about right and wrong, after they die, they fall into the animal realm. It's very, very stupid. You know that you're doing the wrong thing, but you do it intentionally. That's a karma of stupidity, okay? And therefore, they fell into the dragon realm, the animal realm. Animal realm, you fall in the animal realm because you create a lot of stupid karmas of stupidity. Are we clear on that? If every day you keep on knowing it's a rather stupid thing to do, you still insist on doing it because I like it, okay? Then you will fall into the animal realm. So that's what happened to these people. They did stupid karma. They know full well that's the wrong thing to do. They keep on doing it. Number one, that's rather stupid karma they're creating. But on top of it, they are honing the skills, the chant skills, so they have a lot of spiritual powers themselves. So after they died, they went into the dragon realm. Okay? And so dragons dragons the dragons have a lot of spiritual powers. My teacher, Master YongHua, he says he has 10 dragons who are his bodyguards, if you will. Okay? He said, because one day he was taking American airline flight or something like that, and he looked out the window, he saw his 10 dragons flying, surrounding the airplane. Wouldn't that be cool? God, why? Never happened to me. Okay? So, so dragons, what are dragons doing for us? Dragons are in charge of what? I'm testing your knowledge here, your general knowledge. Weather. And what else? In California, that's very important for us. Fire, okay. What else? Very important. Huh? You forgot already? You ungrateful people. Huh? Earthquake. Every time there's an earthquake, we lose billions of dollars in damages. And we're sitting right on a fault, San Andreas fault. Okay? So it's not, it's for sure that it's going to happen. Okay? We're going to have a big earthquake. And that's the nature of the place. And notice, since Master YongHua came to Northern California, really no significant damages from earthquakes in Northern California, except for one time, 1990, when he left California and went to Australia or something for a trip, and there's a big earthquake. Remember that earthquake? You're too young for that? You weren't born yet? No, you weren't born. Some of you weren't born yet. Okay, 1990. Is it 90 or 89? Something like, huh? 89. Anyway, thank you. And so dragons are also, Master YongHua says, every year, okay, the dragons get together and they decide where there will be an earthquake, okay, and where there will be tornadoes. Okay, here we don't care for tornadoes. It's really, it doesn't concern us. But tornadoes also are decided by dragons. Because the dragons get together, all these dragon kings get together, and these are dragon kings, by the way. And they get together and they say, okay, we have a quota this year. We need to have so many earthquakes, so many tornadoes, so many typhoons, and you name it, okay, wildfire and so forth. And they said, now it's going to go to 3 will go to Northern California, 5 will go to the Southern California, okay? All right, so far so good. Are we still together? Are you all still sleeping? Today, I'm proud to tell you, my people rationed me. They only gave me one small bowl of noodle, okay? And then they stopped anyone else from bringing me more food. It's deliberate, okay? But I appreciate it. And so anyway, so the dragon kings decide on these bad events. So far, so good. So you might ask, why is that we don't have that major earthquake in California? Why is it, for example, that the last earthquake we have, the tsunami, the closest it got was Berkeley and Santa Cruz. Remember that? Santa Cruz is pretty bad. Lots of dead fish. And Berkeley here, the bay there, actually was pretty bad. Okay? Kind of scary. But as far as it got. Okay? As close as it got. So So what happened is that they decide that, okay, Bay Area will have these, so many earthquakes this year. Okay? However, because Master YongHua, his temple is here. In particular, he's here physically. Okay? And then they said, we cannot do that because it shows lack of respect. Got that? It's just like my president, when he goes to DTT, for example. Why are you laughing already? I haven't told you the joke yet. Come on, give me a chance. Okay? So my president comes to DTT, okay? And he sits and comes and then eats lunch with us and talk to us. You think that it's okay to have someone have turned on the mariachi music, amigo, next door, and really blasting and the whole building is shaking? It's not polite, right? It's not respectful. Same exact thing with earthquakes. Because of Master YongHua's presence, okay, when he was there, here, now he's dead already. So what happens is, even though our area is supposed to have a major earthquake, but the Dragon King says, okay, I know we're supposed to have a major earthquake here, all right? But we can't, out of respect. So what happened to the earthquake? Go to Berryessa. No? Morgan Hill? So what happened is the Dragon King says, we do not want, we have to move this earthquake somewhere else. So there's still an earthquake in Northern California, but it's further away from it, out of deference, respect for the authorities. Does it make sense to you? Okay, so you want to be safe against earthquake, tornadoes, and so forth? Move closer to the temple. Serious, okay? And so that's what happened. Hello. Okay. And so the dragons are very powerful beings, and because they have a lot of spiritual powers, and these dragons in particular are good dragons. They're not evil dragons at all. So it's the case in Buddhism where, these people have a lot of powers, and they can decide to be good or bad. And because of the virtues of the great teachers, the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they choose to do good, as long as the great teachers are around. Okay, it's not forever. All right, so they have a lot of spiritual powers. And so again, I want you to keep an open mind that things are beyond your reference, your references, and that's part of keeping an open mind. All this is actually described by the Buddhas, so they're facts in the Buddhist world, even though it's not proven by the scientists, right? Okay, I could go on and on, but we should move on and try to study from Master YongHua here. Master YongHua says, dragons may be very exotic, may be desirable. Anyone saw Game of Thrones? I love that series. Oof, wasn't it beautiful? I love it when she rides that dragon and she flies over the city and the dragon is, it makes you feel so good. Yeah? Okay. Imagine you riding the dragon and you go, and you feel so powerful, like you own the world. Anyway, that's the only thing I think is better than 007. So, dragons, although they're glamorous, they have 4 types of sufferings. Okay? First suffering. Dragons, even though they have a lot of spiritual powers, they can fly, they can manifest big, they can manifest small, okay? And very, very tiny even, very, very big. And yet, and there aren't that many other beings who can subdue dragons except for the golden wings birds. Okay, these are the birds who wingspan are about much bigger than B-21. You don't follow the Defense Department weaponry? We have this powerful B-21, the wing, it's a wing kind of airplane, and it looks like a wing, and so the length of this wing here is like 3 or 4 football fields. I'm exaggerating a little, okay? And so these golden wings here is a huge, huge bird. And they are the arch enemies of dragons, because what happens is the golden wing birds, they're called peng birds, peng in Chinese, they specialize in eating dragons. Dragons to them are like spaghetti. So when they see a dragon from far away, far, far away, our M1 tank can shoot about 3 kilometers away, 2 miles away. Did you know that? Oh, you guys are the most boring people. You don't know anything. Nothing. Not even tanks, airplanes, submarines. Aircraft carriers. This is embarrassing. I can relate to you at all. Okay, so just joking. And so this peng bird can spot the dragon very far away without any thermal sensors or anything, or night vision, anything. You can see so far away, you see it, right? And it does 1 flap, 2 flaps, and it got right there. That's how fast they are, okay? And they come over, and the dragon, as soon as they come close, what happens to dragon? Dragons freeze. So it's natural karmic retribution. As soon as dragons see the peng bird, they freeze. That's it. They all freeze. They can't move. They can't make spiritual transformations. Okay? Very much like some women that own us. Huh? As soon as they say, in Vietnam, I don't know, you guys remember this, in Vietnam, when women are not happy, they go, and the men would freeze. You like that, don't you? It's no longer the case, okay? Yeah. And so, that's what happens to dragon. They see the peng birds, they freeze, and the peng bird come over and grab it by its claws and drop it like spaghetti, okay, and swallow it. So they feed on dragons. The peng birds feed on dragons. Dragons can defeat anything else except for peng birds. Shall I move on? I think I lost you somewhere when I talked about aircraft carriers and spaghetti. All right, so the golden peng birds terrify the dragons, and eat on the dragons. Okay? And there's nothing they can do about it. All right? So even though they have spiritual powers, but as soon as they see the peng bird, the dragons freeze. They can't do anything. They just wait to die, wait to be eaten. Okay. Number 2, suffering manifesting original body during intercourse. We can move on. Okay. I should not be cracking jokes about this. Okay. Number 3. The suffering having parasites lodged in their scales. Dragons have a lot of scales. You've seen those renditions of dragons everywhere, right? Online, everywhere you see. Actually, you go to many Asian temples, you see images of dragons, even statues of dragons, okay? And they all have this scale thing along the entire body. And what you don't realize is that underneath the scales are a lot of parasites, and basically they are gnawing at dragons day and night. It's extremely painful. Okay, I don't know if you can see the 2 red dots here. I think it's fleas. It's new. Good Lord. So imagine that it eats you alive like this day and night, not just 2 spots all over your body. It's like torture. Okay? Physical torture. There's nothing you can do. So dragons must suffer day and night because their flesh is being eaten. How would you like to be a dragon? You know, not me. Okay, never. Okay, all right. It's so exotic to have the flying thing and be written by the actress name? Me too. Okay. Huh? No. No. It's okay. I'll come back. Look it up. Okay, so they are basically tortured day and night. Okay, they eat you alive. Okay. Okay, and because it's so itchy to them, so they would fly down to the sands, deserts, and so forth, and they rub the bodies on the sand, on the heat, okay, to relieve it, and it has a bit of relief, but then the heat from the sand burns their body. So not only are they being eaten alive, they also are torturing themselves. And don't laugh, because that's what we do too. We do things to torment ourselves and torture ourselves. All right? And so it is not fun to be a dragon. Number 4, and that's what it's talking about. All right? So dragons have a lot of benefits, but also have a lot of drawbacks. All right? By the way, if you want to propagate Buddhism, you need to have dragons. Because you remember, they are only vulnerable to peng birds, but they overwhelm everything else. Okay? And the peng birds, when they realize the dragons are helping the temples, they leave them alone, if you will. They say, okay, I find another dragon somewhere else who's not helping Master YongHua. Okay? Unless you have the dragon's help and protection, it's very difficult. So that's why you can imagine the troublemakers that come to the temple and they see the dragon, and they run. Where do you think you're going? Boy. Okay? So that's why it's very, very important. Okay? I know you don't care, right? I mean, that's what they do. And that's what bodhisattvas do, okay? They help, and we don't even know they're helping. All right. Any questions? Let's go into the text itself, the sutra text itself, instead of gossiping. Moreover, Dragon King Virapaksha gained a passage into liberation of dispelling the burning agony of all those in a path of dragons. Hello, hello?
复次，毗楼薄刹龙王得消灭一切诸龙趣自然苦解脱门。
Okay. You see, this Dragon King Virupaksha here is listed first because he's the most influential, he's the most powerful, he's a leader among the celestial kings, dragon kings. Okay, so you see, these things have a certain hierarchy, very much like in our sanghas, when people sit in front of, walk in front of others, because there's a certain hierarchy. Yes, go first.
Emitofuo, Master. I read
I thought
the one
go first, closed down. What happened? We let these people in? Oh, sorry.
next week, Master. Next week.
Next week.
The dragon been bitten by all the insects all over the body. I wonder why the dragon not get over to inside the water and sitting in there. So all that insect gonna be suffocated and die, or at least some of them, couldn't breathe and release some of the pain, but rolling around the sand. I wonder why dragon doesn't do that.
Yeah, why don't dragons do that? This is a very valid question. Kind of smart question. Anyone would like to sửa lưng không? I mean, to correct him? What's wrong with the question? Why don't they just go in the water and this guy is violent and kill all the insects, suffocate them. A good thing he's not a monk. It's not monk-like to kill your enemy, You make them suffer a little, but you don't kill them. This guy's so violent. If you hurt me, I'm gonna plunge in the water until you suffocate.
You want to ask him, Master? People ask that kind of question.
So it's not your question, you're just a mouthpiece? Is that Tung's question? Is that Tieng's question? She's hiding her face. Yeah. That's Tieng, right? Yeah. Is that why won't we do that? Why can't dragons do that? Must I answer everything? I mean, Jesus, you can't even take a break. I've been talking for almost an hour now, non-stop. Give me a break. Huh? Why not? Master, what happened to the old monk? He's sleeping now? It's okay, no, let him sleep, the poor guy. I want you to know, the old monk is very, very, very good-hearted. She went to speak Dharma at a Vietnamese temple this morning, And let me tell you, when you speak Dharma to a lot of people, it drains you. So that's why he's probably tired. Either that or he ate too much for lunch. Anyway, so why won't he do something about the insects? Okay? For your information, young man, the parasites who gnaw at the dragon's bodies also have spiritual powers. This guy is so naive. If you're a dragon, you have spiritual power, you can simply, and the parasite would be, just like you take a finger, right? But dragons don't need to use a finger. They just, you got that? So that's why this guy who's been studying Buddhism for 30 years now doesn't know anything. Oh, here. Okay? And so these parasites, the dragons cannot get rid of them. There's no way the dragons can get away from these parasites. Even if they have these parasites themselves as spiritual powers, then you can't stop them. Even if the dragons would submerge themselves into the great ocean, guess what happens? The parasites would stop breathing until the dragon has to breathe. So when dragon emerges, surfaces, then they breathe. The parasites breathe. See, this guy has no imagination. I would not want to hire him as an engineer. Just no imagination whatsoever. Anyone else would like to ask another stupid question? Yes, Wei Mao.
Emitofuo, Master. Master, during my first fasting, I do remember that I was trying to go to sleep, usually at nighttime, and there were like a lot of demons just coming, and some of them they were like jokers, like they were like.
At your home or at the temple?
At the temple.
No, that's impossible. Temple don't have ghosts and demons. Don't scare people.
And I remember talking to one of the nuns, and I was advised to recite Medicine Master Buddha. And so I did.
Which nun is that?
I think she's not longer here.
Oh, she's no longer there. That's
no.
Okay.
And so that day it kind of diminished the attack, but then because they came even stronger, like bigger ones, and they were really scary. I remember at one point I asked like help to like all the Buddhas, even though I was very ignorant still then, like of. Who specifically to ask, but I remember it's like if each of the Buddhas sent a helper, and I do remember they sent one. It was like in total 10 helpers, and then they went kind of behind me, and so I'm seeing still the demons, but then I see the demons melted into one kind of dark shadow, and they start retrieving, and I didn't know why. Then I see a head of a dragon. In Mexico, we don't talk about dragons. In Catholicism, we don't. That's my background, and we don't talk about dragons. We don't believe. But when I saw the dragon, I was like, oh, they are retrieving because.
Wait! Stop. When you saw the dragon, describe the dragon. Let's make sure that it looks like a dragon.
So it's extremely big, like it's like those 10 Buddhas that sent each of them a helper. It's like they became
And the rest of you who are not Buddhists who are here to listen to this, to say, sometime we go berserk to ourselves, so don't worry.
I know, that's why I don't tell the story.
Yeah, but tell the story. Do tell. It's kind of interesting now. I want to see her description of the dragon she saw. Maybe someone that we know.
Actually, it's really beautiful, majestic. It's extremely big, and I can see like the head is. That's the first thing that it appear. So I can see only kind
inside
of like
inside the WMT Buddha Hall.
It was still in my room. I was still in my room trying to go to sleep.
So inside of the building.
Here at the temple.
In a temple, inside the temple building.
Yes. Yes.
The big dragon you can see inside the building. My God, what happened to our building?
It was really huge, Master, and it was the colors are like.
What color?
They were like different colors, but I can see a bluish, purplish one. It comes like a lot of different colors, like but not too colorful. It was more like bluish, purplish type of
silverish,
color.
silverish.
Yes, and then there is something here on the head
with the rims of red.
Oh, it has so many details. It has like scales. It's very detailed. It's really precious. It's like very majestic. And I was really impressed how all those demons that have been attacking me, and I have been reciting to get like, because at one point I got scared. It was just, it seems like they were just getting bigger and bigger. And so once I saw that and they retrieved, I was like, oh, that was really good. And, that was really impressive. That's my first time. I actually, I didn't tell no one because I didn't think it was, something. It's just like, to some people I will tell them and I say, oh, I have a dragon. It protects me. But that was that time that he showed up, and it was by, to me, is what I saw, that they all got together and he became a dragon. So it was really, really nice.
And how were the eyes? I think the rest of them would like to know what dragon eyes are like. We have fish eyes. What about dragon eyes?
I don't remember nothing. I remember something here on the side. I don't know what it has. The eyes are kind of elongated. They are big. I don't recall well the eyes, Master, but I don't remember it was doing anything like.
It has whiskers.
Like. It was really nice. It has so many details for me to even like.
But you didn't see any whiskers?
I don't recall, Master.
Okay.
But I do remember it was really like a steady, like the walk, like a very static. It didn't need to like.
It wasn't flying. It was walking.
Fire, no fire. Yes, very like It was just making the presence there. It was really nice. It didn't do anything. It just like the shadow just retrieved.
Was it carrying like a boombox or something?
No, I remember there was something here and like right underneath the neck, something like a shield, very strong. It looks like metal type of thing, but it was like a color. I don't think it was a protective. It was like a I don't know, like a color around right below the necklace. It was really nice.
Does it have any baby dragon with it?
No, that would have been nice.
No.
I know, if I tell anybody outside, especially to my communities, like my Hispanic community, they'll be like, man, you're going crazy.
You are crazy. That's not possible.
But
that's why I prefaced the day by saying that you need to keep an open mind. I warned you already.
Yeah, I don't think I would believe in dragons if that would have happened because of that. It's just because I had never, since little, I never,
So it did not even have to breathe fire to scare your demons and ghosts away.
No, it was just firm. It was just the presence, and it kind of like if they knew. For me, I was like, why they're leaving now? And then I can see the presence coming, and then I see the head, and I was like, oh. And that was fascinating actually to watch, and I wasn't bothered after that.
And what were you doing in your room? Why would the dragon come to help you when you were in your room?
So I remember I usually recite before going to sleep.
Okay.
And sometimes I will sit and meditate and recite. Sometimes I will bow, sometimes, or sometimes I will just stretch and I'm listening to the mantras in the website. Sometimes I'm reading something. I try to do something before I go to sleep.
Oh, by the way, folks, I know you are kind of far-fetched for you, but it's commonplace for a lot of people who practice meditation or practice to see dragons and so forth. A lot of people. So it's nothing new, okay? It's quite commonplace. It's because, as I told you, without dragons, we can really not cultivate. They have to protect us. Okay, so when the troublemakers come, your troublemakers come, the dragons kick them out. That's what has happened. So they're just simply doing the jobs. That's all. Okay? So.
Master, I tried to look at a picture to see what resembles, but the pictures that I see, the common pictures of dragons, because after that I got fascinated by it, this one is so detailed that the pictures that I see, they're like nothing compared to what I saw. Like it's like here, the front, the face, the head, it's really detailed.
By the way, how do you think we have those images or pictures of the dragons? Where do they come from? Like one copies the other? Maybe. Lloyd would say, oh, he copied from Mr. B, and then Mr. C, A copies from Mr. B, and B copies from Mr. C, and so forth and on and on. Okay? Then I may ask you, how about the first one? Who does he copy it from? And it seems like they're very consistent images. It is similar descriptions. Okay? Yeah. So I want you to know that these visions, the things you see, and it will happen to you too. Eventually, it will happen to all of you. That you will see dragon, you will see strange things that you don't normally see unless you meditate, unless you practice. That's normal. So nothing to be alarmed about, nothing to look forward to. It happens naturally. Yes, one.
Master, I've never seen a dragon, ever. I don't know if I ever will, if they're real. But one thing is interesting to note is South Americans have dragons, Asians have dragons, Europeans have dragons, and they, during a time when our cultures never met each other. Mm-hmm. So it's not implausible considering all of these different societies have had these. Yeah,
different culture, different societies. They have anecdotes of dragons and tales of dragons. Okay, it cannot be just wild imaginations. Okay, for the Buddhists, you don't have to believe them. You have to listen to them. Eventually, when you meditate, if you say, I want to see a dragon, in the future, you will. Oh, yeah. You have to want to see it. Otherwise, he said, I'm not going to bother this person. They can choose to become visible for you or not. I'm not trying to impress you. When they become visible, and that's why this lady there, She keeps on coming to the temple because she saw these things. Oh, it's gotta be real. This temple must be special. I shouldn't have said that. Okay, so these people, sometimes we have apparitions because it helps people cultivate, strengthen their faith. But there are those of you who have faith already, anyone, the dragon's not going to show up. There are better things to do, okay? Yes, YouTube. And they're busy plunging into water, trying to drown their parasites.
Thank you, Master. Diego has a comment for you, Master. He thinks you're looking for Emilia Clarke as the actress for...
Thank you. Emilia.
Mary Targaryen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one comment.
Mm-hmm.
And
Thank
then,
you very much.
And Ji Hong says, Master, so even dragon kings, do they also have parasites under their scales and that gnaw at them day and night? Thank you.
Yes, they do. Okay, but they don't suffer as much. It's just like my president, he suffers a lot less than we do. Yes, Wei Mao.
Yeah,
So it's like if we suffer, our suffering is 100%, they suffer like 10% because they're dragon kings. The kings suffer less than we do, period. Except for certain things, like Epstein and those things. Then they suffer more. Clearly another Republican here. Yes, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, so I have a dragon story since Martina shared hers.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have a question as well.
So you saw a dragon. Let's get this out of the way. You saw a dragon too.
I think so. It was very livid. I usually don't have very livid dreams, but and I wasn't thinking about seeing a dragon. So I was dreaming that I was on this rope, and it was started to fly up into the sky, and I was hanging onto it. And
Malaya, dragons have no tail. You got it wrong. Sorry, go ahead.
And it was so fun because I was like flying over mountains and lakes, and I could see everything really, really clearly. Like it was daytime somewhere, and it was so exhilarating. Like I was going up and down and all over the place. And I remember thinking in my head, like, this is a dream, but it feels so real. And then once I landed onto the ground, the landscape changed and it just became gray. And then I remember like the image spanned out, and I saw a golden, like an outline of a golden dragon come forward and greet me. And that was it. It was so fun. And then after that, I thought about it, and I realized that Malaya had asked for a dragon for New Year's. So I was like, oh, maybe I saw her dragon. So I'm not sure, but it was...
Look at that, Malaya.
Yeah.
It's too much. Oh, that's funny. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, but the image was gorgeous, and it was a golden dragon.
Golden dragon. What Martina saw is silver dragon, not golden.
Yeah. And then I have a question.
But did you see the whiskers?
Yes. It was very long. Like there was a lot of like...
So it's a male dragon.
Oh, yeah. So it's a male. I think it's a baby. I don't know. Because it's small.
No, dragon appear big or small. So it's the size doesn't determine the adulthood. Okay, continue.
Yeah,
What's your question?
Really cool. So my question is, since we have dragons protecting our temples, is there anything we can do for them? Like, is there a plaque that we can request to help with their parasites? Or is it just karmic retribution and there's nothing we can do?
Well, first of all, this is the reality of life. When you're born into your current body, you're there to suffer your karmic retribution. Okay? So meaning that for your lifetime, you're supposed to suffer your karmic retribution. Is that clear? So that's part of it. So it's not a whole lot you can do. You can get some relief, but you can't always undo that, because you came here specifically to undergo that retribution. And you get some relief for that, of course, but you still have to suffer. So that's why, for example, when you're Dragon King, you're supposed to undergo the retribution of having parasites gnaw at you day and night. But because you're king, you have more blessings. Therefore, even though you're being tortured, you don't suffer as much as regular people, regular dragons, if you will. Okay, so that's the thing. There's a program for you to be tortured, to suffer for so long. Okay, and that's a karmic retribution. Not a whole lot you can do. Okay, and number one, what can we do to help them, because they're helping us? Don't worry, you don't need to help them. Their job is to help us. If they are allowed to help us, then they're grateful already. Believe it or not. Their whole mission in life is basically to live the life of a dragon, but if they're able to put their skills to the service, to good cause, to serve a good cause, that's a tremendous blessing for them already, that they're allowed to do that. First of all, okay? And number three, but just because they are doing what they're supposed to do, what they vow to do, we still want to show our appreciation, okay? So we show appreciation by, number one, at lunchtime, we feed the Garuda birds, the pung birds, so that when the pung birds are full, they eat fewer dragons. And they don't eat our dragons. Please. Okay? So that's why every day at noontime, we make sure we feed the pung birds. Say, here's some food to eat. Don't eat my dragons, please. And that kind of thing. Okay? And so we have this understanding between us. And so that's why, boys and girls, make sure at lunchtime we feed the pung birds, because otherwise we run out of dragons. They don't even care. These people are really, they take things for granted. Look at all those people back there. Yeah, okay. I haven't done anything so far. Why should I change? Okay. So we are actually feeding their arch enemies. Therefore, the dragons, our dragons, are not consumed. Okay, are spared. And finally, number 4 is that after we cultivate, to show our appreciation for them, we transfer our good work, our merit and virtue, and share the blessings to them. We give it to them. That's what we do. Okay? And that's very Buddhist. When people do good things for us, they naturally get those rewards. Because at the end of every night, every day, before we go to bed, we say we want to transfer the merit virtues here to the Dharma protectors, or the people who help us. Okay? So everyone who helps us actually get the blessings that we generated during the day. We give it away. We don't keep it. That's why we're always poor. See? Look at this. But happy together. Okay? Anyone else? Yes, 7.
Is the
You
bird,
like to gossip, that's all. You don't care to go into, I can't even go into my sutra text. Yes, 7.
is the bird also a Dharma protector too?
Absolutely. Okay. The pung birds are also Dharma protectors. There are 8-fold division. There are 8 types of Dharma protectors. Dragon is one of them. Pung birds are 2 of them. So that's why they collaborate. They're not going to hurt. The pung bird will not hurt our dragons here. They might hurt the other dragons at all the temples, but that's it. Okay, just kidding. Good Lord. Okay, so they don't hurt. They don't hurt each other, and it turns out, why do you think they're so powerful? Because they actually are bodhisattvas. If they're simply using spiritual powers, they will not be able to fight your arch enemies. Okay, so they actually are bodhisattvas in disguise. Okay, they're just like here. Dragon King Virupaksha is actually a Mahasattva, okay, who transformed himself into the body of a dragon, became a dragon king, so that he can help his dragon's subjects. Got that? So originally, he's a bodhisattva, okay? And he says, it's time for me to save the dragons. So he transformed himself and was born into as a dragon and became their kings. That's how he led them and helped them cultivate. So he's the one who says, you, go to DTT and stand guard. Okay? All right? I never seen dragons. I'm glad, and maybe because Martina and other people can see dragons. I don't need to see dragons. I just knew I had dragons. That's all. And it's because when I was a novice, there's a dragon already who's following me everywhere. And I wasn't aware of it until I went to Canada. And I started learning about the Avatamsaka Sutra, and then this master talked about dragons, how they follow you to protect you. I said, oh, how cool. Okay, so I went to Canada as punishment. I said I had to go to Canada because there's a monk there who is known to be very harsh on everyone who stays in his temple, especially left home people. And he's known also to make people return to lay life as well. So I was selected to go there. and this is Calgary. Calgary is very, very cold in the winter. So around November or so, it will be freezing to death already. So they sent me there about November, December or so. And I'm a California boy. I used to live in Minnesota, and that's long enough. And I say, I'm never want to experience cold weather again. Okay? And so I went to Calgary. So I was very unhappy because this guy is a very mean dude. He's very, very mean. He's white, huge temper, Jewish. Oh, the terrible combinations you can have. Just kidding. Okay? And I was grumbling, I was very unhappy, and I said, I don't like cold weather. I have enough cold weather. I live in California for too long now. If it's too cold, I'm going to die. So guess what? Until December, it's really no snow at all. And then one day I realized, because I keep on whining and saying, I hate the cold weather. I don't like cold weather. If it's too cold, I'm going to quit. You can torture me all you want, but cold is something I can't take. Okay? And so one day I realized, oh my God, what kind of cultivator am I? I'm a disciple of Master YongHua, and here I am, whining about the cold weather. I couldn't take it. So this is so embarrassing. So and then I realized that there's a dragon who says, who followed me. So he says, since because Gote, back that's my name, didn't like the cold, so she kept the cold away. So the neighboring cities are freezing to death, but Calgary was like nothing severe. Yes, it's cold, but it's not like minus degrees, okay? And then so I said, wow, this is so embarrassing. If my Chinese teacher, Master YongHua, were alive, he'd look at me, I'd be shaking his head, so what kind of wimp is this disciple of mine? So I said, I don't care. Let it be cold. And guess what? The following day, there is freezing weather. Sleet, freezing weather. It's so cold, incredibly cold. Okay? And then it was like that for 2 days. And I said, enough. I can't take this. You keep it up, I'm going to quit. And guess what? Third day, it warmed up again. On demand. That's what I realized. I realized as a dragon who walks and follows me around and said, so Master YongHua, do you want, hey Gote, you want good weather? Okay. So everywhere I went, it's always clear skies, blue skies, and warm weather. And same thing, that's what Koreans are saying too as well. As soon as Master comes to Korea, good weather. Because Master, deep down inside, he still likes good weather. It's so embarrassing, that attachment is so, it's there. I think it's my entire life. And so it's funny. So wherever I go, it's always good weather because I know deep down, I do not like bad weather. It's an attachment somewhere, I think. Yes, Wei Mountain.
Hello, Master. You talk about transference Dharma to Dharma protector. Can I please ask, how do we do it properly so that we can transfer our merit and virtue at the end of the day to them, to those people who are helping us?
That's the same transference that you recited at the end of the Great Compassion Repentance. Same exact thing. Okay? And even if you didn't do that, at our temples, it's automatic. I don't need to recite it. I said, everything that all these good people have generated today, it all goes to you, huh? Okay? Even though I didn't do anything, it still goes to you. And then,
thank you, Master.
Excuse me. And after I managed to run away from Calgary, from that terrible monk, I learned a lot from this guy, though. So I managed it was around January or February or something. I was on my way out on the Greyhound bus. They have the Canadian Greyhound bus, whatever that was, I forgot. And so the whole time I was there, it's cold, but it's reasonable, okay? But the same day, I boarded the bus, okay? And drove out to the outer limits of Calgary. The weather came down, the sleet, there's like that for like a long time. So what happened is they delay it until it's gone, and they let it happen. Isn't that cool? So I'm telling you, there's a lot of things in cultivation is kind of cool that beyond the norm. Okay, and it's the case because when I was a dragon myself, I never tried to drown the parasites. Unthinkable. Okay, any other questions? We have 5 more minutes. Might as well gossip the rest of the day. Okay. Can I finish this? And I move on. Okay. So this king here, this Virupaksha king here, he is the most powerful dragon king of those who present there. That's why he is the first. His name was the first to be mentioned. Okay. And why is he powerful? Look at this. This is something. Don't think that what we're learning here is a dragon, the Avatamsaka Sutra. It applies to us as well. How do you become powerful? Why are you influential? Because you are providing your catering to the needs of your subjects. You don't rob them. You don't abuse them. You take care of them. And you see, the dragon, biggest problem, one of the biggest problem is being tortured day and night. So when this guy here, this dragon king here, he became enlightened. He says he became enlightened by developing the ability to zap, 消灭, to disintegrate and extinguish all the burning sensation on the dragons. And that's what in Buddhism, again, that go first guy, a gentleman there, you don't kill beings, Jesus. Okay? You use your skills to, this guy here, if he can die, if he dies down to kill all the parasites in his body. No, you take it like a man, okay? And then this dragon king Virupaksha here, when he was a dragon, he endured the pain, and he says, "I know I've been a bad boy. I'm suffering because I created suffering karmas, and therefore I should suffer now." Okay, and he used his suffering here to develop his wisdom. And that's what he meant by gain a passage into liberation. He gained a passage in liberation, meaning he became enlightened because he endured this particular kind of suffering, the burning agony. And because he endured this suffering to the extreme, that's why he says, I've seen it all. Now I can extinguish this at will. So the dragons who need help, he looked at them and said, "Be healed, my child. You're saved. Remember me? Donation box." Okay? Got that? I want you to understand this. This is what cultivation is about. We endure, and more, and more, and more. And when you do it properly, you reach the point where you transcend all suffering. The suffering stops. And that's why you're able to relieve others' suffering. So it's not clear here in the sutra, but this is how he developed the ability to dispel or to extinguish, to eradicate all the pain and suffering. Meaning that if a dragon is suffering to the point he can't take it anymore, his dragon would then go to the Dragon King or call his name, and the Dragon King here would, excuse me, make all the pain, suffering go away, just like that, without having to kill them by drowning them. Is that clear? I don't know where some of you learned the Mahayana from. But this is so strange, to kill your enemies. Got that? You understand? This point, I know we joke a lot, we talk a lot, and it's fun to gossip and so forth, and congratulations to all those who can see dragons. Okay? But the point here is that all that you are experiencing right now, sometimes very unbearable, you bear it, you try your best, and you receive help so that eventually you'll be able to rise above it. That's when all suffering stops forever. That's what happened to Dragon King Virupaksha. At this level, he never suffers pain, that kind of pain anymore. Not only doesn't he suffer, but he also relieves others that he chooses to help. Is that clear? That's what cultivation is about. Okay, thank you everyone. We stop here today.